Now, everybody's going to testify. Please raise your hand. Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give be the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth? So help you God.
I do.
Okay, thank you. This is a Burnett case, and we're hearing it today on our Zoom Lano Day, which is fine. So, Mr. Guevara, you may begin, please.
Thank you, Your Honor. I would request that the court would take judicial notice of the file, its content, and the underlying conservatorship.
I will take judicial notice of all the items Mr. Guevara mentioned, and that also includes the termination order signed by Judge Kowski from McLennan County, where the underlying CPS case is. So, thank you.
Thank you very much. And if it pleases the court, I'll call my first witness, who is Zachary Scheringer. And Mr. Scheringer, you and your wife are the petitioners in this case, correct?
Yes, sir.
And so you understand that you've requested this court to grant you the adoption of Marcus, so I assume that's there sitting with you.
Yes, sir, it is.
Mr. Guevara, I'm sorry to interrupt. Joseph Scheringer just came in. Is that, I figured is that one of y'all's family?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. I didn't want somebody y'all didn't want included to let in, but I figured with that last name had to be kinfolk somewhere. Okay, I'm sorry. Go on, Mr.
No, thank you very much for doing that. You understand that the petitioner, if the judge signs a decree that creates a legal relationship between, in this case, you, your wife, and Marcus, the same as if he were naturally born to you, right?
Yes, sir.
So all the rights, responsibilities, everything that you'd have to a biological child are going to be yours as to Marcus and yours forever, right?
Yes, sir.
And understanding that you are requesting this court to grant the adoption.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, I understand that he's been in your home since October of 21, right?
Yes, sir, he has.
So he was, what did we talk about? He's about a month old about that time when he came in?
Yes, sir.
So your home is the only home he's ever known, and do you believe that you've had a sufficient opportunity to bond with him as a father?
Absolutely. Yes, sir.
I believe it's in his best interest that he be adopted by both you and your wife today.
Yes, sir.
All right. And are you willing to make a representation to Judge Mabry? She'll sign the decree of adoption that you're going to love and care for Marcus for the rest of your life.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, sir.
Very good. No more questions for this witness, Your Honor.
Thank you. Next witness, please.
Looks like he got all excited when Neveo popped up into the screen there. For my next witness, I'll call Jessica Robbins. Please take a minute.
Yes, sir.
Judge, did we swear in witnesses or?
Did I swear anybody in? I'll do it. Did I swear y'all in?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I do it so many times a day, it just goes up in and out of my head. I need like a yes, no card, but thank you.
No, we're good. I just wanted to make sure. All right. Please state your name, please.
State your name.
Okay. And you're joining your husband as a petitioner in this case, correct?
Yes, sir.
And so you understand, just as he testified, that if the judge signs a decree that create a legal relationship between you and Marcus, the same that you have with Nevaeh, so you're going to be mom for all purposes, right?
Yes, sir.
And you understand that it is a permanent relationship, so you're going to be mom for Marcus forever, right?
Yes, sir.
And understanding that you're requesting this court grant the adoption today.
Yes, sir.
Your husband testified that he's been with you since October of 21, about a month old. Is that your testimony as well?
Yes, sir.
And do you believe that you've had a sufficient opportunity to bond with him as a mother?
Oh, yes. Yes, sir.
And you are requesting a name change, and we're going to go with Marcus.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Are you willing to make the same representation to the judge that if she'll sign the decree of adoption that you're going to love and care for Marcus for the rest of your life?
Yes, sir.
No more questions for this witness, Your Honor.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Guevara. Next witness, please.
Okay. I'll call Rachel Richardson. Good morning. Will you please state your name?
Rachel Richardson.
And you're with the Department of Family and Protective Services, correct?
Correct.
And as we participate in this hearing today, the department is Marcus's managing conservator.
That's correct.
And the department has consented to this adoption. That's all done in writing. But does the department as managing conservator believe that it is in Marcus's best interest that he officially become a Scheringer today?
Yes, definitely.
Anything you'd like to tell the court about this family?
This has been a wonderful family to work with. Marcus is happy and healthy. He's a happy baby. I mean, they've been a wonderful family to work with, and this is in his best interest.
Okay, very good. Thank you very much. Thank you for your work and all the department's work for Marcus and this family. I have no more questions for this.
Thank you.
And Your Honor, that is my final witness. So we would, like I said, the guardian ad litem has signed off on the decree and would request that the court grant the adoption.
Okay, I was looking at the prior order. Okay, good. Okay, thank you. He is the cutest thing, isn't he? Oh my! And he's a healthy little man too, isn't he? And smiling and smart and waving at us. Isn't he cute? Big Sissy, what do you think about that little man?
He's good.
He's what? I'm sorry.
He's good and friend.
He is. Y'all look alike too. Except he's got blonde hair and you have brown hair. Does he drive you crazy some of the time?
Yes.
I bet. And you know what? It's going to keep on doing that.
Yes, it is.
I'm sure he thinks you're the coolest thing in the world.
I bet he does.
Is he family, y'all, or were y'all fosters?
Sorry.
Is he family or were y'all fosters?
He's family.
Yes. Okay. Well, he is so cute and so happy. What a happy baby. So cute. He wants to participate, and you know that's great. Miss Russell, are y'all on this case too?
Yes, ma'am, we are.
Yeah, they are, Your Honor.
Okay, what would you like to add, please?
So after reading a lot of their case file, on behalf of Caring Hearts for Children, we are very thrilled for this family. We're thrilled for this child, and we support this adoption 100%.
Okay, thank you. Okay, Miss Robbins, Mr. Swearingen, I'm gonna mess up your name a million times. Mr. Swearingen, anything you'd like to add, y'all, family?
I just want to say thank you for everybody that's helped us get this far. Rachel, Nikita, Nancy Harrison, they were wonderful. They were a great team to work with.
Yeah. He seconds that motion. And I believe we said we have a family member here, Jocelyn. Miss Jocelyn, would you like to add anything? You're muted. There you are.
Oh, yes, I'm just so excited for them. For their
Thank you.
Great. Well, yeah, look at him sitting up in that chair. Oh my. Well, I know he keeps y'all busy. How old is y'all's little girl?
She's 6.
She's 6, so she's in school. And where does little man go during the day? Where's Marcus stay?
Daycare.
the ice book.
So everybody gets a holiday today. Yay. Well, yay. Okay. I'm going to find I do have jurisdiction over this case and over Marcus because y'all live in Burnett County. I'm going to find that the department is currently his permanent managing conservator because his biological parents' parental rights have previously been terminated by the Judge Minkowski in Waco. I'm going to find that Marcus's birthday is October 9th, that he's now we're spitting, that's good. He's a United States citizen and a Texas resident, which sure makes this easier. I'm going to find that, like I said, Judge Minkowski previously terminated his biological parents' parental rights, that he's lived with y'all most of his lifetime, which is obviously way more than the 6 months it's required for the adoption. I'm going to find that y'all have been studied and asked questions a gazillion times, and y'all passed everything with flying colors. Find that the department, as a permanent managing conservator, has verbally and in writing given consent to the adoption, as has the guardian attorney ad litem in Waco. I'm going to order y'all, Ms. Richardson, be sure and tell Ms. Martinez or somebody over there in Waco that we did the adoption. We got to do the fun part. We got to do the bad part. We got to do the fun part in Burnett County, and that this case needs to be closed. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you. And everybody released. So department and line items, everybody's released from further representation. The good news is y'all do not have any more court. Everybody always hear that. I'm going to order that the records be sealed, if I didn't already say that. And Marcus's new name. And last but not least, I'm going to grant the adoption. Congratulations, y'all.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you. Let's do this. It's lots of fun. When I get a break, I will sign the order electronically and send it to Miss Jennifer, and she'll get it e-filed and help y'all get certified copies and all that stuff.
Thank you so much.
I mean, look at him. He's just so happy. Thank y'all for coming and letting us do this. And we wish y'all the best of luck and hope to see y'all around at Walmart or something.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you.
Rose Adams,
Bye-bye.
minor.
That's right.
Calls number 19753. Everybody's going to testify. Please raise your hand. Do you swear or affirm? A family, y'all might as well raise your hand because you never know. We might get y'all up for some questions too. Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give me the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth? So help you God.
Yes,
Okay.
I do.
Thank you. Yay. Mr. Gavar, you may begin, please.
All right, thank you, Your Honor. And I would request that the court would take judicial notice of the file, its content, and also the case that we did the termination.
Also, Ms. Miller was kind enough to send me the termination order that Judge Stubbs signed. So I have that too. So I appreciate that.
This all of them are awesome, but this one we had to do the termination on this one. So this is actually the first time that I've seen Scarlett. I got to work with the family quite a bit, and we were in court all day. But this is the first time I've seen Scarlett, so that's fine.
She's a very pretty little girl.
Very pretty. Yes.
Yes, she is.
Scarlett.
So for my first witnesses, please as the court, I will call Michael Williams.
Thank you.
Did we do the swearing in? I don't know what's wrong with my brain today, Your Honor.
I don't know. Did I swear everybody in? I did because I
Yes,
said
you did.
the other family.
Yeah. Sorry.
You're making me scared for the rest of the day. What am I
I
going to
know.
do?
I don't know what to do with my brain today. I apologize. So I'd like to call Mr. Williams. Will you please state your name?
Michael Williams.
And Mr. Williams, you and your wife are the petitioners in this case, correct?
That is correct.
Okay. And you understand that you've requested this court to grant you the adoption of Scarlett, who is sitting there between you.
Yes, I certainly am.
And even though that there's glad to see her nod yes. Even though that there is a biological relationship that y'all have with Scarlett, and that will not change, but legally after today, you will be parents. And you understand that, right?
Yes, sir.
So all the rights, responsibilities, everything to go with raising Scarlett are going to be yours and your wife's.
That is correct.
And understanding that you are requesting this court to grant the adoption.
That's correct.
Now, I believe that she has been with you since May of 21, right? For almost 2 years.
That's correct.
Well, but obviously, as grandparents, you've known her forever. But for the placement, we're longer than 6 months. Do you believe that you've had a sufficient opportunity to bond with her as a father?
Yes, I most certainly have.
Yeah, I hear that you're the favorites. That's what I hear.
On occasion.
And you believe it's in her best interest that she be adopted by you and your wife today?
I do, absolutely.
Okay. And we are requesting a name change, but and are you willing to make representation to Judge Mayberry if she'll sign the decree of adoption that you're going to love and care for Scarlett for the rest of your life?
For the rest of my life, absolutely.
Yes.
Very good.
Yes.
No more questions for this witness, Your Honor.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Next witness, Mr. Gavar.
I'll call John Williams.
Here,
You can state your name.
Jonna T. Williams.
And Mrs. Williams, you're joining your husband as a petitioner in this case, right?
Absolutely.
So you as an individual and also as a couple want to adopt Scarlett as your daughter.
Yes, we do.
And you understand all the testimony that your husband talked about, that you're not going to stop being grandparents, but now legally you have the responsibility as parents, and that's forever and ever. So understanding that you're requesting this court to grant the adoption.
Yes, sir.
And she's been in your home for almost 2 years. Have you feel like you had an opportunity to bond with her as a mother?
Absolutely.
And requesting the same name change?
Correct.
Okay. Also willing to make a representation to the judge if she'll sign the decree of adoption that you're going to love and care for Scarlett for the rest of your life.
Yes, sir.
Okay. No more questions for this witness, Your Honor.
Okay, thank you. Okay, thank you, Ms. Williams. Next witness, please.
I feel like I should ask Scarlett some questions.
I think so. If you're not going to.
Okay. So, Scarlett, do you understand what's happening today?
Mr. Kavar is talking to you.
I'm being adopted.
Yeah, and you know what? You're adopting them too. Did you know that?
What?
Yeah, that's how it goes in here. It's a whole family thing. You're all adopting each other. So do you want them to adopt you?
Yes.
Do you want to adopt them?
They adopt means that I have to adopt them.
So you have to pay all the bills.
I'm only a kid.
I know, but you're not going to be a kid forever. And someday you may have to take care of them. You willing to do that?
Sure.
Okay. All right. Very good. I don't have any more questions for Scarlett.
Okay. Thank you.
Wow.
Hey, family. We have lots of family here. We always like to hear from family. If y'all would like to show your face and unmute yourself, we'd be happy to hear from y'all. Ms. Price, you've been here with us. Would you like to add anything?
We're super excited about this. So it's a great decision. So thanks, Jonna and Mike, for loving her so much. She's so precious.
You have to be Miss Williams' sister.
I am. Yes.
I just took a while. I could be wrong. I got 50-50, but you got to figure, yeah, you're right, Scarlett. They look alike.
I'm Aunt Jill.
Yeah, Aunt Jill. Well, that's great. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, let's see. Miss New, you unmuted yourself. Would you like to add anything?
I'm just so excited. I'm almost on the verge of tears. I'm so proud of Mom and happy that Scarlett will be in a loving environment. I'm really happy for them.
Thank you.
Brandy, thank you.
Thank you, Brandy.
So, Brandy, is Scarlett going to be your sister?
She will be baby sister, yes.
Cool. Great. Thank you. Okay, anybody else? Mr. Will, Miss Lachelle, Miss Sarah, would you all like to add anything? Let me see. Okay.
I can sound like a
Let me see. I'm making sure I got two screens. I have to scroll through, make sure I got everybody checked. Okay. Mr. and Ms. Williams, anything y'all would like to add that Mr. Barr didn't ask y'all questions about or anything?
No, ma'am. I think we're good. We good?
We're good.
Okay. And Scarlett, you're probably ready to get all this over with, aren't you?
This dress is itchy.
This dress is it, but hey, it looks good.
But it's itchy.
It looks like an Easter dress.
Not.
Are you missing school today?
Where are you going after court?
School was cupcakes.
Yay. Which school do you go to? Good. Yay.
It goes all the way to 5th grade.
Excuse me?
It goes all the way to 5th grade.
Oh, okay. I thought you were telling me you were in 5th grade. I'm like, oh, wow, that's cool.
No, I'm in 2nd.
Okay, good. Well, you sure are a sweet, smart young lady. Pretty, too.
I know how to some read, but not all read.
You do? Good. Do you like school?
I like my math teacher. It's
that's good. That's important. And you're going to have
math.
That's wonderful. Do you have spring break next week?
Yes.
What are you going to do?
Well, where are we going?
We're going to stay with our cousins.
I'm going to stay with my cousins and Aunt Phoebe and her husband are going somewhere. I don't know.
They're going to
Ireland.
They're going to Ireland.
They're going to where?
Ireland.
Oh, wow. I've always wanted to go there.
Why?
Me too.
I don't, because they have pretty golf courses for my husband to play golf.
And cobblestone houses.
That's right. And it looks cold. And I don't like cold weather. So I don't know. I just was one of the places I want to go. And one of the few places in Europe my husband will go to. So there you go. Well, Scarlett, you sure are a cute girl. And y'all are going to laugh at this.
This is my favorite.
I've had, let me see, 1, 2, 4 adoptions today. 2 of them are named Scarlett.
No.
Wow.
Isn't that weird? I know.
There's 3 Scarletts in my whole school. 1 in 1st grade, 2 in 2nd grade.
No way.
Yes, way.
Wow. Wow. That's amazing. Because it's not a real common name. So that's cool. And you can remember that I did 4 adoptions today and 2 were Scarlet. Okay. And that little girl, she didn't go to your school, but that's neat. Yes, ma'am.
Maybe. I wish I could just bring a cupcake through there for you.
I wish I could have a cupcake. I love cupcakes. You know what? Dessert is my favorite thing.
Mm-hmm.
So, and that would be a really good breakfast, wouldn't it?
I'm doing the me too.
Me too? I don't know. Is that how you do that?
Yeah.
You know what?
When a speaker is talking, they go like this.
And that means you agree? Hey, we should have been doing this the whole time we've been in court, shouldn't we? And do it with both fingers. That means
you and me.
Wait,
that's right.
This is one hand.
Well, Scarlett, I'm going to find that I do have jurisdiction over this case because it's pending in Llano County. I'm going to find that your grandparents were the interveners in an underlying termination case. I'm going to find that your birthday. Why don't you tell me when your birthday is? And you were born in the United States of America, weren't you?
Yes.
And you live in Texas, right?
United States, Texas. Yeah.
That's right. So you're a United States resident and a United States citizen and a Texas resident, which makes this easier. I'm going to find that Scarlett's biological parents have previously been terminated, which does make her eligible for adoption. There's Miss Sarah. Miss Sarah, would you like to add something?
Sure, I'll add something. Sorry, I was driving earlier.
That's okay.
I used to be Scarlett's therapist back at the Children's Advocacy Center.
Hi, Miss Sarah.
Hi. I miss you, and I'm so excited that you guys. I'm so excited that you guys are going to be a family forever and ever and ever.
I miss you a lot.
I know, I miss you too.
I wish I could. Why did you have to go to a different work? I miss you a lot.
I know. Scarlett once told me that she was going to live with her Lola and her grandpa forever and ever. So I think this is the perfect place for her to get adopted.
She had a crystal ball, didn't she?
She did.
She did. She did. Yes, ma'am, Miss Scarlett.
My dad ran away from my mom when I was a baby.
Oh, I'm sorry, but that happens. But you know what?
My dad's cuckoo.
But you know what?
Another lady.
That's why your grandparents are adopted you. So everything works out good for a reason.
I know you're my friend.
That's okay. That's why I'm in court all day. So don't worry. That's good. But it all has a happy ending. So yay. Thank you, Miss Sarah. Appreciate you coming. I'm going to find that Scarlett has lived with y'all for way more than the 6 months it's required for the adoption to go through. That I do have the underlying termination paper, seeing that the mother and the interesting father were previously terminated. Going to find that y'all have passed all type of studies and been asked a gazillion questions probably to go forward with this adoption. I'm going to find that the adoption is in Scarlett's best interest. Back to find something I wrote on. I'm going to find that the records are to be sealed in this case. And Miss Scarlett, what new name do you want? And you know what? Where your grandma has Tuttle, you have Rose, and Rose is super pretty.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Rose. I have an R in my name, Scarlett. 2 T's at the end.
Oh, you got 2 T's? You look at my name. My name is spelled kind of different too. I have 2 L's.
2 L's?
For sure.
In my name.
Whoa.
I get it. You and me, we're going to have our names messed up all the time, but that's okay. It makes us different and have really cool names, doesn't it?
If everybody has the same name, it'll be confusing. Like how are you supposed to know which one's our child?
Well, because you got 2 T's, that'll help make it easy. That's great. Okay, so you're Scarlett with 2 T's. Excuse me?
Everybody thinks I have 1 T, but I have 2.
I know. They'll get it wrong your whole life. I'm old and my name's spelled wrong all the time, so I got it. But that's okay. So your new name is, you can say that. Okay, good. And last but not least, I'm going to grant your adoption, Miss Scarlett, with 2 T's. So yay!
Yay! Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank y'all for letting me do this. I'm always happy when other judges get to do all the yucky stuff and I get to do all the fun stuff. And I get to meet Miss Scarlett and y'all. So I really enjoyed this. And Mr. Guevara and Jennifer, thank you for letting me be a part of the adoption today. When I get a break, I will sign the order that Miss Jennifer sent me and send it to them. And they'll get an e-file and get y'all certified copies and all that stuff that y'all need to finish all this stuff. Okay?
Perfect.
Wonderful.
Okay. Well, Miss Scarlett, you have the best day at school eating all those cupcakes. And you eat one for me.
That with my class.
And you eat one for me too, okay, girl?
I don't think I can travel through that.
Well, just think about your adoption when you're having a bite of that yummy cupcake, okay?
Okay.
Okay. Thank y'all.
Cupcakes.
Have a good day.
Thank you so much.
Bye. Thank y'all. Okay,
Thank you everyone for coming.
Needs his birth certificate so he can work. Has been having some communication with his dad, but it's kind of like going between a million different people. I didn't get a CPS report. So that's what I see we need to talk about today. Mr. Rogers, what do y'all need?
Well, Your Honor, I guess first I'd like to, my understanding is Cameron won an essay contest and gets to take a trip to Washington, D.C. So congratulations.
Oh, you did? Yay.
Yeah, really neat.
Yay, Cameron. That's wonderful.
I think from the department's perspective, he's doing pretty well. There's been some issues with staying up a little bit too late that maybe the facility can tell us about later. But congratulations on winning the essay. And I think there's been a request that Cameron is having trouble with exchanging letters with his dad because by the time the letter from his dad gets to him and he's ready to answer, it's almost like it's so late in time that he's answering one situation when the next letter shows up. And so it's just hard to communicate in that manner. So he was asking, I believe, for supervised calls or video calls. So maybe CPS could weigh in on what they think about moving to that format.
Ms. Greenberg.
Hi guys. So I apologize for the non-report. We did file one, though it probably wasn't until like mid last week. Jamie's been out, so we did kind of jump on that. We do want to congratulate Cameron on winning that essay. That is excellent news. We did mail a birth certificate to him. I know Jamie went down and got one printed out at the county clerk's office, so it should be in transition. If not, I will follow up with her when she gets back, but she had indicated to me that she had sent it off. We had to have had an original one to get an original Social Security card, and I believe that the original one that we had was misplaced or sitting in a mailbox somewhere in Austin at one of our persons. So we thought it was just easier just to go to county clerk and get another one. So that was taken care of. We would like the court to go ahead and grant permission and put in the order for him to be able to travel to Washington, D.C. Go ahead and knock that out so that we ain't got to worry about that come June. And
who's going with him?
He's going with some members of, like, I think there's a co-op, like a representative from the Texas electrical co-op or something that he had to write the essay for, that they're taking like a group of like 4 or 8 kind of students with them that won this essay. They sent us a bunch of particulars as to how they're going to, be roomed and all that kind of stuff. So they were kind of providing us a lot of information, or at least Hill Country Youth Ranch was providing us a lot of information from them.
Okay, it's approved. Yay.
Yay. Otherwise, he's doing good. We did have a circle of support that went really well. In terms of letters and the therapy, it was something that had came up before. I don't know if Cameron raised the issue or if Mr. Williams raised the issue. We staffed it amongst us legal parties as well as his therapist. At that time, and this was roughly about 2 months ago, it was felt that having some kind of supervised visitation type or at a jail, at this time he was still in Llano, didn't think that that would be conducive of a positive environment and may set Cameron back. And at that time, letters were like on the weekly, it seemed like we're going back and forth between them. But now that dad is in a Huntsville or in a actual, more long-term facility, I imagine that could cause probably some delays in terms of how fast mail gets delivered to inmates, which of course we don't have any control over how mail gets delivered at those facilities. I do know that those letters are going through CASA, and CASA sends them to us, and we try our best to, send them and give them as we receive them.
Why can't the youth ranch just supervise stuff?
We didn't want to put them we didn't know what information was being shared. It's general policy and procedure over here in the department that stuff go through CASA or the department so that we can stay on top of what's actually being discussed and make sure it's appropriate. At this gesture, they've been doing it so long, and I believe all the letters have been really positive. CASA can weigh in, but if in this particular case, if the youth ranch wants to supervise that and have letters be discussed and provided to him while he's in a therapy session, that's fine with me.
What was I didn't know has he been sentenced?
He's been sentenced to like 30 years or something like that, and is now I think he's in Huntsville, if I'm not mistaken.
Well, it's aggravated too, isn't it? So he's going to have to do at least 15. Is that how that works now?
Yeah, he's going to be in there for a while.
So so he's going to be there when Cameron's 16. He's going to be there when Cameron ages out, and Cameron's going to be able to do whatever Cameron wants then. So I don't really know why we're continuing to supervise anything.
We just more or less kind of staying on top of behaviors, and if there's any antecedents for any kind of behavioral disruptions, more so. I don't want disturbing information getting to Cameron and disrupt his progress that he's made. But letters have seemingly been appropriate. So, he is 16, so.
Why couldn't we allow phone calls, or I don't think they allow video calls from prison, to my knowledge. But I know they allow phone calls, and I know they allow a lot of phone calls if Zach has the money on his books to make the phone calls. So, I don't know how that would work and how he would be able to get in touch with them. But if it could be facilitated with their youth ranch, I don't see why there would be a problem with telephone calls, especially if they were somehow organized to where they took place during his therapy sessions or anything else like that.
I agree.
Let's just say phone calls allowed during Cameron's therapy. And
I think another thing was that Mr. Williams, because of the incident that led him to become incarcerated, it made him paralyzed. And I think it was going to be troubling for Cameron to see his dad in that position. But I just kind of wanted to throw that out to the court and let them know. We also, during the circle of support, also encouraged him to rethink about possibly reaching back out to his mom. I know that we've been trying to engage mom more in services. Well, not necessarily services, but at least kind of face-to-face, interactions with our department and her. She has a desire to reach out and have contact with Cameron. And I think at this point, the barrier is Cameron himself. He doesn't want to. And out of some, Cameron's on the screen, he can speak for himself, but I think he doesn't want to upset his father by reaching out and having a relationship with his mother. And I know there's a lot of hurt feelings in the past.
we have been trying to get the mother involved for years and years and years. I'm done with her too. I mean, if she knows where Cameron is, she knows where all y'all are. Cameron's 16 years old. If Cameron wants to have a relationship with his mother now or later, he will. I mean, Cameron's got a dad that is a criminal that tried to kill some police. It's now paralyzed. He's got a mother that has not been supportive, for better words. You know, he's got some jacked up parents. Ball's going to be in his court.
Would you like us to continue our monthly contacts with mom or?
No. I don't think there's any need. She knows where y'all are. She can reach out to y'all.
Okay. If we can get something in the order stating that, at least quarterly visits with mom, then we would be square with that.
It's fine. Y'all quarterly visits?
Yes, if you don't mind.
Okay. And Adams, what do y'all think?
Well, I think that if Cameron wants to have a relationship with his mom, he can. I know he's wanted to have a relationship with his sister. I think that it needs to continue to be addressed in his therapy. I think that mom at some points has tried to reach out and has tried to, try to reestablish a relationship, but Cameron just not ready and not interested in that as far as he's ever told me. So he's 16. He's going to make his own decisions. I think that, like I said, I would encourage him to continue talking about those issues in therapy because, we can't choose our parents, but we can, try to work through, whatever situation we're in. And that's what I would encourage him to do.
Your Honor, can we get the same agreement for dad who's in jail? I mean, there's not much that we're going to be able to do for him while he's in jail.
That's fine.
Thank you, Your Honor.
CPS only required to quarterly visit with mom and dad. Okay, department, what else do y'all need?
Oh, sorry. Nothing at this point, Your Honor. I think we're good.
Ms. Reiner, what do you need on behalf of Cameron?
The only thing I had to add was that I spoke with his therapist, Cindy, within the last week, and she specifically asked to not be the one to supervise the calls between him and his dad. She said that she did not feel that was appropriate or her job. She was happy to discuss them with him, but she did not want to supervise the calls.
Would she supervise communications back and forth?
I think she's been getting the letters and she's been reading the letters as far as I know. She just said, I talked to her about having somebody at the ranch or who was going to supervise the calls. And she said several times she did not think that was her job and she did not want to be the one to have to do that.
Okay. Does she think they still need to be supervised?
She did not really express an opinion on that particularly. She said that she thought it was fine if he wanted to talk to his father. She said that she's never spoken to Zach and has no idea whether it's going to be good for him or bad. She really didn't express an opinion other than the fact that she did not want to be the one that was supervising the calls. She said she would let us know if she thought that they were distressing or stressful for him after the fact, but she didn't want to be.
Right now, the cost of supervising the phone calls?
There hasn't been any phone calls as far as I know. It's just been letters.
Okay.
We've been supervising the letters.
Okay.
Now, there might be somebody else at the ranch that's willing to supervise the calls. I don't know. I have not talked to his caseworkers or anybody else up there, only his therapist about that.
Okay, I got it. Here's what the order is going to be. Phone calls with dad is arranged by dad, Hill Country Youth Ranch, and CASA. CASA is to supervise. Correspondence is supervised by Hill Country Youth Ranch, as long as everything goes well. Any violation, correspondence will be through CASA again.
Judge, I mean, I don't know, but I don't know that there's a way for CASA to supervise the phone calls.
Well, if Zach wants to set up a phone call, Zach can make a plan through CASA. Can he? Doesn't he have to have a designated time that he can call?
I don't know. I mean, I think that they have access to phones pretty much all the time. I don't know. Well, but so he would call CASA, and then CASA would call the youth ranch, I guess, and three-way them in. That's what I'm trying to figure out.
That'll work.
Okay.
I mean, probably best thing is for some people to communicate. Ms. Dowd, if you could communicate with Mr. Williams, he's not represented by an attorney, and we could get like a 1 day or 2 day a month that everybody is available to do a phone call. That might be just the best thing, to set up a set call 2 times a month. That everybody's good. Youth Ranch, Mr. Williams, Zach, that's Mr. Williams, and CASA.
Okay.
Well, I know that Cameron and his therapist talk to CASA on a weekly basis. It seems like anytime Cameron is in with his therapist, it sounds like that there's a call made to CASA just to check in.
Okay.
So
well,
if we can get those dates, we can communicate that over to Zach.
We can get him hooked up. Right.
And Judge, one more thing from the department's perspective, based on hearing kind of how the conversation has gone today, it sounds like maybe we would probably prefer an order that CPS doesn't need to provide any services to either mom or dad. I think their situation is kind of locked in and where it is.
I'm happy with that too.
Okay. Thank you, Your Honor.
Ms. Greenberg, can y'all live with that?
We can certainly live with that. And granted, we always continue efforts to try to engage parents. And so if we identify something that could be beneficial, depending on Cameron's desires and our efforts to try to get him out of foster care, we can certainly set it up. Okay. It just kind of keeps us from having to do a service plan.
Cost of CPS not required to set up services with parents. Parents' responsibility to contact CPS.
Okay. Okay.
Okay.
Thank you, Your Honor. Thank you, Your Honor.
Okay. Okay, Casa, what else do y'all need?
That's it, Judge.
Okay, so we got phone calls, we got communication, we got no more services for the parents, we got Cameron to be able to go to DC. Yay. Ms. Dowdle, what do you need?
I think that covers it, unless Cameron has something else to add. Since he's here, I would ask if there's something else he'd like to add, to go ahead and add it at this time.
Cameron, what's up?
From here on the progression of getting my job, I'd want to look forward towards getting my driver's license, or at least driver's permit, since I'm 16 now.
Okay, what does the youth ranch say about all that? What can they help with?
I believe they'd be willing with hours. I believe they'd be willing to provide assistance with hours.
Okay.
I'd need to know where to take the tests and whatnot, though.
Say that again.
I need to know where, if there's
having two kids that are 15 and 16 now. You can either take an online class and take the test, but then you still have to have driving hours. So we have to figure out how to get those driving hours, or you can take a class with the driving hours, with the classroom and the driving hours with it. So I'll try to get with you and get with the youth ranch and see what we can get figured out and get with the department. Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
And we can also look at the PAL coordinator for that. They have all that information.
Okay, great.
Wait, right. Did y'all say Cameron had his circle of support, or he's getting ready to have one?
He did. He had one earlier in February.
Okay, so I'll add Turdy and Lightem and CPS to investigate DL, investigate DL. Okay. Anything else, Cameron?
No, thank you though.
Thank you. When's your trip?
Around June.
Around June?
Yeah.
Anybody know the next dates? Because I was planning on having a hearing on June 14th.
I believe it's June 5th.
Okay. Okay, so
Yeah.
you'll be back by then. Are you excited?
Yeah. I'm super excited.
Kind of have to get some new clothes, I bet, huh?
No, I'm all right with clothes right now.
I didn't know if you had to dress up for it or not. So, yay. Well, good luck. We're really proud of you for doing that. Are you still doing all your art, though, too?
Oh, yeah. Oh, Miss Isabel just wrote the dates. It turns out it's June 11th through 19th.
Oh. Well, that's okay. We'll have a hearing while you're gone. You can let us know how things are going. Or maybe y'all can Zoom in from there. It's going to be a Zoom day anyway. We can do that. Okay. Well, you have a big time. Keep doing what you're doing. Hopefully you can get a job. Hopefully get the job going between now and then, and we'll work on the driver's license too.
Okay.
Okie doke. Good luck.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you. We'll be in recess.
Good job, Cameron. Good job. We're proud of you.
Good job, Cameron. I'll be in touch about the driver's license.
Raise your hand. You swear firm. Testimony you're about to give be the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth, so help God.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. Birth certificate, same old.
Yes, Your
Yes, Judge. We just need, Ms. Benton needs to clarify a few things today, I think, and maybe we can get things on track.
Okay, Ms. Benton, what's that?
From Vital Statistics, we just need a second piece of documentation that's official from a court stating the birth facts for unique. And so I have those. I don't know, Mr. Wilson, if you want me to just say them so they can be added to a court order, or how you want to do that.
I think so, Judge, if that's all right. If she'll say them out loud, and we'll all agree that's how it is, and we'll see an order declaring it.
That address is also the place of her birth. And I think that's all we need.
So you need an order, Kate, that says the date of birth, who the parents are, and where she was born?
Yes. Yes. The residence address is the same as the place she was born. Yes. So some kind of language stating that's where mom was living, and also the place where Unique was born.
I see. Okay. And she was born at home, right?
That is correct. Yes. During Snowvid.
So, Kate, this just needs to be an order for Vital Statistics, and a court order, just sort of the judge finding or declaring that all these things are the way you just said, right? And we'll state it in the order. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Judge, does that work for you?
Yeah, I'll tell y'all, Ms. McClure had a hearing lately on a, I think it was a burning case, kind of same, similar situation. And some, I don't know much about it, but it had to be before the district judge. And then I think they had a hearing, and then they didn't, they told them what needed to be in the order, and then that order wasn't good enough. It's like who's on first with Vital Statistics. Every day, every second you get something. You get some news story. Them and, the AG's office are top of my list.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Let's try this. Can't hurt, and we'll see what happens.
Okay. Thank you.
All right,
what I put on the order? Terry, listen, I don't know what y'all put on the order. Just put judge presiding. Leave it like that. Then they don't know if it's me. They don't know if it's district court. They don't know who it is. So just do judge presiding. Okay.
Is that something, Judge, you want us to circulate among everybody, or surely we can just send it straight to you?
No, just send it straight to me.
All right.
Okay, so perm hearing, how are things?
All right. No news is good news, especially on this case, Judge. So there's not been a whole torrent of emails and texts and whatever. And so I think things seem to be okay. Justice seems to be looking forward to maybe a possible RV down the road from mom or something to live in. I'm sure others have more details than I do. The department wants to make sure everybody remembers there's an HCS placement that's still out there if the wheels come off in the next 8 days or so. And that we're not pushing for that, but we want everybody to know it's there, and we're happy to do whatever we need to do for him.
Actually, Rob, today is the day. Like, if everybody still declines it, I have to send an email that says that we decline placement. We can't keep it open for 8 days.
Okay. So there we go. Deadline of today, right, Amy?
Yes, sir.
We're not asking for that, Judge, and I'm not sure anybody else really wants it. It was sort of turned down last time, but we wanted everybody to know today's our last chance on that.
Okay. What's the plan for is Justice here? I don't see. Candy's muted.
I believe he's with Candy, Your Honor.
Okay. So what's the plan?
Yeah, he's in the little boy's room.
What does he want to do, Candy?
He told Marcus yesterday that he doesn't want to extend care.
How come?
I don't know. He didn't give an answer. I'll get him to come talk to you.
I don't even know if Candy's placement would be allowed for him to consider care anyway.
Right. But we'll still have, we'll be in service, we'll have service review hearings and still check in and everything.
For how long, Judge?
For a year. I mean, you can do 6 months, but I want to do a year unless somebody tries to tell me to do otherwise. Justice, what's up about getting the RV?
We're still waiting on the settlement payment to be transferred over.
Okay. Justice, what is your goal? And you're about to turn 18. What is your goal?
Well, honey, she needs an answer, so you got to answer her.
Justice, this is Marcus. Can you hear me, Justice?
Can you shut that off? It's cold.
Hey, Justice.
Hello.
Yesterday you said you didn't want to remain in CPS care.
Yeah.
Why was that?
That's so cold.
Justice, I need you to answer Mr. Wood's question.
I don't know what he's talking about. Listen to the judge and answer the judge, baby.
Justice, yesterday you said you didn't want to remain in CPS care. Why did you say that? Do you feel like things are going really good?
Yes.
And you're going to try to get a trailer close to your mom, and that's where you're going to live?
Yes.
How are you going to live?
What? How are you going to live? By myself.
How are you going to pay? How are you going to pay for food, electricity?
My Social Security check.
$800 is going to do it?
Yes.
Okay. You don't want to go somewhere where all your bills are paid and stuff like that?
No.
What is your plan about your dad? Going and seeing your dad?
I don't know.
Department, if he is no longer in care, we don't pay for that anymore, right?
Correct.
Okay. Okay, so if you're not in CPS care, then you're on your own to get to, or your dad can pay for you to go up there to see him, okay? Okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you. Okay. Are you taking your meds?
Yes, ma'am.
And you're not. You have a therapy appointment coming up too, right?
It's supposed to be today, but we had to reschedule.
Yes.
Oh, I thought it was at 10. I thought y'all were leaving Candy at 10:45.
Yes, ma'am. But when I talked to Susan, we didn't know when court was going to start, so I rescheduled it for next week.
Okay, well that's good. Okay. Anybody else have anything they'd like to discuss or talk to Justice about or talk to us about?
Your Honor, I have a question for you in the department. I know that Ed is assisting on working on the Social Security transfer of benefits. Since Justice turns 18, we have to go through that process. I'd like to be sure that Ed remains on so that he can continue to assist Justice in getting that done so we don't lose his benefits. We may need some help from the department on some medical records or other things that they're going to have to sign. Just want to be sure department's aware of that and is able to help us get him transitioned. She has received the paperwork. We do need to try to get it done within the 8-day time period. Just for the court's reference and background.
What do you mean? What do you mean 8-day time period?
Before his birthday.
Oh, okay.
I think we had 8 more days before his birthday. Is that right?
Right.
Or is he already? Okay.
8 more days. Okay.
All right. And then Mr. Marino did say that he felt like he could stay on and continue to pursue the HCS appeal, that disability rights would allow him to do that if it was okay with the court. That way maybe Candy could get licensed and then she would be a provider for him, and that would assist on the financial side. And
assuming we get all that HCS stuff done through the doctor, blah, 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 right?
That's correct, Your Honor. We just need some more time to wrap that up.
Okay, that's good. Department, y'all need to make sure y'all get Mr. Marino everything by the timeline.
Yes, sure. Your Honor. Also, I really encourage Candy to fill out that paperwork timely.
Like, what kind of paperwork, Ms. Brown?
For Candy to fill out that paperwork for his adult Social Security timely. And yes. Also, Star Health is emailing me again that she's not answering phone calls, and I need her to answer those phone calls.
Okay, as far as
I have answered those phone calls. The last time we talked, I told her everything was going good and that we didn't want the extra therapy because he's already going to the Phoenix Center on Wednesdays, and on Thursdays he was going to anger management. And if we started that process, then we would lose the Phoenix Center and we would lose MHMR.
And then my only other request, and I don't even know if we need to say this out loud, but I'm requesting that on the 16th, we move him to trial independence for a year.
I've already wrote that on my docket sheet.
Okay.
And Ms. Brown, in terms of the paperwork, Candy does have that. She has been asking me for help on that, but I think the department's going to need to do that. Maybe that would be something between you and Ed and Candy y'all could get done.
I've never filled out Social Security paperwork, but I'll be happy to look at it. I think that is also something that the Social Security office can help Candy with. But yes, we will check with Candy to see what the problem is. Is she missing documents, or is she just not understanding how to fill it out?
There are questions on there that she feels like she cannot answer that the department needs to answer. I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll contact Ed. I'll let Ed coordinate with Candy, and then we'll have them call you and see what needs to be, if there's something else y'all need to do.
Perfect. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Mr. Butte, what's up?
I've got really nothing to add.
Okay. Mr. Wood.
Nothing to add, Judge. I mean, I've spoken with Justice, and I wish we had a better, firmer kind of setup for him right now, but that just seems like where we are.
But it sounds like that's what he wants to do. So the ball is, Justice, I don't know if you can hear me, but the ball's in your court to you're about to be 18 years old. You've been an adult for criminal purposes for a year, but you're 18 years old. You're an adult. You got to act like an adult. You got to act like all of us, and you got to be held to community standards and everything else. So, pretty soon all these folks aren't going to be able to help anymore. And Candy, remember, he is a grown man at 18, and he's going to, he's got his own consequences. So, CPS has been in this case for a while, and if he hadn't learned anything or his therapies and everything, hopefully, maybe Ed can help with this HCS thing, or, the best thing would be for you to be able to get approved to that. That would give extra money coming into the home and, help him and therapy and all that kind of stuff. So the quicker y'all can get all this paperwork done, the quicker everything can get resolved. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
So I'm just going to say everything is to continue on to trial independence, and we'll have a services review hearing in 3 months on 5/10.
Judge, do I continue to go to the services review?
No, I think I think I'll release you, Ms. Wills. Anybody have any opposition to that?
No, Judge.
Ms. Potts, I do need you to stay on though.
Okay.
So you said, Judge, a services review on 5/10?
Yes.
Is that a hearing or is that a meeting?
It's a hearing. It's a trial independence hearing.
Okay.
If it's not working out and he wants to go to Seattle, are you sure you want to release me?
You know what? See, I am out of that. That's between him and his dad. And none of us are, that's his deal. Yeah. And you know what? It's not your deal either, Miss Willis. Big boys, they're over 18. Let them figure it out. Mm-hmm. You don't have to handhold. You've done a good job. You've done all you can do.
Thank you.
Okay.
Judge, can I ask for a little clarity in terms of what's expected of the department in the next 8 days regarding medical records or whatever it is that's needed from them?
I think Ms. Potts knows that.
Okay.
Yes, I'll contact Ed. Ed will work with Candy to fill out the paperwork. If we need something, we will get Ed to call Miss Brown and let her know what that is.
Okay, so that's all connected to the Social Security, Susan?
Yes, it's the transfer of the Social Security document. And if there's something else he needs on HCS, I'm sure he'll let Miss Brown know.
Okay. All right, thank you.
You're welcome. I'm going to put something in the order. Hold on.
Susan, we still have that education portfolio notebook, and that has a lot of stuff in that. Do you want to keep that? Do you want Ed to have it, or would you like me to get that to Candy?
I'm thinking either Ed or Candy. Candy, what's your preference?
For the school stuff?
Right.
Yeah, I can take it.
Okay. It just has a lot of good information in it, Candy, and I want you to have all that for your records.
Okay. I have something to say. So I gave that to Candy in December, so she has a big old notebook with all that information in it.
Oh, okay.
Prior to Christmas, I hand delivered it to Candy.
Okay.
Yeah, I have that binder.
And we still have the records request, Susan, out to Arizona. I don't know. But as soon as those come in, we will just get you, Ed, and Candy a copy of those records as well.
That'll be super. Now, Ed said he would fly there and pick them up, but we don't know exactly who to contact.
We don't know either. And Winslow, Arizona keeps telling us that they're in a box in a warehouse.
Okay.
Because they don't have electronic records.
Okay. Y'all can email about this. We got to go. We got other hearings started here. But in my other order is CPS to continue to timely cooperate with items so they can obtain regarding Social Security, education, HCS, etc. Services for justice. Yeah, I just don't want, we're just transitioning. I just don't want everybody to think, oh, he's 18, we're done. No, this has been a big, hairy, long, crazy case. Everybody still has to cooperate. If not, we'll have a hearing. So, anything else?
No, Your Honor.
Okay, I'll see y'all on May 10th. Thank you. Okay. This is a status hearing, and I read the reports. Looks like the kiddos are still in their separate foster homes in McLennan County. Mom's in jail still. I didn't know when she was going to get out. The pictures of the father's house look nice, but we still need to deal with childcare, and he still works a lot and doesn't have adequate family in the area that could supervise the kiddos. So, Mr. Rogers, that's what I got from reading the reports. Miss Willis, do you know where the father is today?
Well, he should be here because he's been talking to me all morning. He confirmed that it's at 11. So I don't, is he not in the waiting room?
No. Oh, and now I bet this Vivian Martinez, she's on the next case.
Okay. He says he's on his way. And I've been talking to him, and I've been sending people to him that he could talk to about hiring for daycare, but he said that the department says that it has to be somebody with a child care certificate, but you're not going to find somebody like that around here to come to the home. So
what about
really in a conundrum.
What about CMS? Oh, Ms. Greenberg, you have your hand raised.
Sorry, let me unmute. So I spoke to Heather, and Heather can testify and talked about it, but we offered him the suggestion of him just simply taking off of work and staying with his kids until we get the daycare taken care of. Because the issue is who's going to take care of his kids until we get the CCMS daycare taken care of. So he basically told Heather, and Heather's here today, that he's willing to take off, and he can take off of work for 2 months. We don't need 2 months. We just need a good solid 2 weeks. And in the meantime, if he could communicate that to us and we get the paperwork in order so we can file the daycare request as soon as he's able to take off, I mean, that solves all the issues as long as he's willing to abide by the safety plan indicating that the kids will stay in his care and his care only.
How's he going to make money?
Well, he said that he could take work off of work for 2 weeks, and he didn't give any arguments about the possibility of doing that.
He never said anything about that.
Hold on, he's here.
Okay. I actually sent him 2 people 2 days ago, Monday.
Mr. Rahino, can you hear me?
Yes, I do. See.
Do you have a phone?
Yes.
Okay. Un momento, por favor. Willis, what were you saying? And remember, everybody, we got to not talk. I know I'm the worst. Let's try not to talk as fast as we normally do.
Okay. Well, I have been trying to send people who could babysit at the home to Mr. Jose, and I actually sent him another client of mine, not a CPS client, but another female client of mine on Monday, and she actually talked to him while at my office. And then she also has a sister who lives in Canada who is looking for work, and he told me this morning that the problem is that the department is requiring that they be licensed child care providers. So I know we've had child care. I've had other cases where the child care has been in the home. So I guess we just need to clarify that. It looks like Teresa's shaking her head, which is a good sign. So
we just need these individuals to be a pass our CPS and our criminal background checks. And if they're willing to supervise and take care of these kids in Mr. Radihino's home, I mean, that's even better. Otherwise, Heather would have to go out and just check their home to make sure it's safe and appropriate. They don't have to be fully licensed.
And that's what I told the woman who I put him together with. So that's 2 people right there. So at any rate, I guess he doesn't quite understand that. I didn't realize until today when he made that comment. So maybe we can clarify that to him now.
But Ms. Willis, was there an agreed upon amount that he could pay for the child care?
I believe he was offering $500 a week for daycare in his home. Or
Okay.
up to
Do we know the referral, the people you're talking about?
You don't. Her name is her sister, whose name I don't know.
Okay.
She's a family law client of mine.
Okay. I think that would be great. That would be way better than waiting on CMS. I got too many abbreviations. CCMS, and it'd be at the kid's home.
Mm-hmm.
Are we talking about like ongoing for the rest of this case, or are we talking about until we get daycare started through the department?
I'm thinking, I don't know, both are good answers. I would
just to get the kids out of foster care.
But hold on a minute. I mean, I thought places in Kingsland are full. Mm-hmm. You know, I don't know how long it's going to take to CCMS to kick in locally, where a place that would be convenient for Mr. Rahimio.
Right.
I mean, has anybody checked with any of the I don't know how many daycares are in Kingsland anymore. Has anybody checked with any of them to see if they have an opening or they have a waiting list or their hours are convenient for Mr. Rahimio, because he works all the time?
Well, he's been checking with all the local daycares. In fact, he's also checked, and that includes Marble Falls. He's checked along the route to Austin. I mean, he's been very proactive looking, but there's only that and so many licensed daycare facilities between here and Austin.
Does he work in Austin, Dana?
Yes, he's in construction there.
I wonder if there's one on 71, like Spicewood area.
He checked.
No.
And, you know, he moved to Kingsland so that he could be near his sisters so that they could, the one can help. I know CPS wanted to use Petra, but he doesn't have a good relationship with her. He doesn't really think she should be watching the children. So,
Ms. Harris, what is your client's status right now?
Your Honor, I'm not certain. My translator fell through on Monday. But I know that she is pending on the criminal and then also has an immigration hold. So
just keep hoping she'll get out of jail.
And she might be able to tell us. She was supposed to have a criminal hearing since her last one. But like I said, my translator fell through, so I would have to ask her.
Okay, can you ask her real quick? I hate to be hopping around so much, but
Judge, just from my recent experience, if she's not from Mexico, she's from El Salvador, and they've been bonding out the El Salvadoran detainees.
Wow.
Pending a detention hearing, but this is also a felony family violence case.
Right. Ms. Harris, ask her what's going on, please.
Miss Duran, can you hear me okay? Oh, I guess she doesn't need to hear me, just the translator, sorry. Have you been to jail? Have you been to court on your criminal case recently?
Yes, I went on the 1st of May, and I didn't see my lawyer there. I did see my lawyer.
Did you get any information on how long you're going to be there?
So I have a hearing. I'm going to go see the judge on the 29th of March, and probably I might be able to do probation.
Oh, Your Honor, I guess there's a possibility.
Ms. Cole, can you ask her if there's any news on her ICE hold?
On that same day, the judge is going to give me a list of lawyers to call so that I can, and they work with immigration, because about the immigration case, I have nothing, no idea, no new news at all.
Okay, thank you.
Judge, could I ask either Ms. Inman or Ms. Greenberg a question about the daycare, just to confirm what the policy is?
Yes, sir.
I know that based on what y'all had testified to previously, that it's okay from CPS's perspective if a non-licensed, daycare provider provide the care in the home. Is that something for which they could be reimbursed? Your earlier comment, Ms. Greenberg, indicated to me that probably not. So I just want to make it clear to everybody that's probably the case. Is that correct?
No, there would be no reimbursement for that part of it.
Thank you.
And Your Honor, I haven't gone there with the parties yet, but if my client is able to be released and handle the ICE hold, then I don't know that they necessarily want her back in the home with the children.
Or with the father. Mm-hmm. Right.
I would ask for it to be allowed.
I know. What is the department? I mean, dad is dad of one child. And it's my understanding, and y'all correct me if I'm wrong, that dad has all 3 children because mom's incarcerated. That's correct, right?
That's correct.
That's correct.
Okay. What is the department, if mom gets out, department's willing, obviously mom's going to have a service plan. Department's willing to consider mom to get all the kids back, correct or not correct?
I mean, we're concerned because of the family violence, though that did not occur. I mean, it's a concern. She'll be set up for services and assessed just the same as dad would in returning to the home. And we anticipate that she would return to the home, though, I mean, we do have that lingering concern of the domestic violence that got us, and well, not involved in this case necessarily, but led to her incarceration.
Are the parents lawyers for the parents? Are they planning on being back together as a couple?
That is what my client said.
Ms. Willis, what does your client say?
Well, that's a difficult question because I have been under the I mean, I'm his attorney and he's the victim of felony family violence. So I have been advocating that they not be together and that he get a U visa. And the whole reason this became a judicial removal is because my client wanted court orders adjudicating him as the father of at least the middle child, if not possibly the oldest, which is a little trickier. I'm not so sure how that would work because her birth certificate's in El Salvador. Am I going too fast? I'm sorry, Ms. Cole. And so I know that he's still talking to her. So my hunch was in the beginning here that he still wants to be with her, but I've been advising him in another direction.
So basically, you know.
And Judge, if CPS is willing to consider mom with her, with the, violence that she allegedly has committed, I don't know why we can't rehabilitate the aunt to be a backup caregiver as well.
He trusts that the original person that was watching the kids, and he feels that the baby was hurt in somebody else's care and that it was, it wasn't something directly related to her.
We have no way of knowing that for sure.
Yeah. Well, here's another thing. I'm just going to little bomb a thing I'm going to throw in the fire. If mom gets out of jail, we have no Spanish speaking services, therapists, etc. Same that Mr. Regino is dealing with now. So what are we going to do?
Well, we have some telehealth ones. I mean, it would be virtual.
That sucks. I'm not doing that. I'm not going to make these people do that. I mean,
well, she may have bond conditions or probation conditions too. We don't know what's going to happen.
Yeah. Yeah. If you're going to take my kids, we're going to be in person. I don't know who gets therapy through a screen, especially. I just think that's dumb. Okay, hypothetically, so the main deterrent from Mr. Rahino getting the children back is childcare, correct?
Correct, Your Honor.
Okay.
Our understanding is at this point, the home is squared away as far as all utilities, including water. It's clean. It needs some furniture, but other than that, it's good to go. So it's just the childcare at this point.
Does he work in Austin?
Mm-hmm. Yes. I'm assuming the septic has been resolved because I have not talked to him about that recently, just the daycare.
I believe that's my understanding. He had to get a pump installed by a plumber, and I think that's been accomplished.
Okay.
If that's correct, Ms. Inman. Could you nod your head or say yes? Yeah, okay.
Yes, that's correct.
What, are the daycares open during the time he works? And we got Genesis that's in school. How do we deal with that?
Genesis would just go to a Boys and Girls Club or an after-school program.
Frankly, is Casa here?
Bobby's on.
Bobby's here.
Raising his hand.
Harry's here. Okay. I frankly think that we ought to just continue to rock along on this until we get CPCMS involved.
So the issue is that we can't do CCMS, make that request until the kids are actually in dad's care. And that's the reason why we kind of threw out that if he's able to take off of work, stay at home with his kids until we get it. If we have daycares already identified that's accepted the kids into their program, then there's nothing stopping us from making that request after the kids are back in his care. We can't request it in advance, unfortunately, because our system will not allow that.
Do we know about waiting list for CCMS?
I personally do not. I know that was tasked on dad to call around and find between his residence all the way to Austin to see if any had any openings.
You know what I really want to do? I want CPS. We got a language barrier anyway. I want CPS to find out about the waiting list.
Okay.
And I want to come back and regroup on that.
Okay.
Because I can't make any decisions until I know. I like the idea that Nina has of having somebody there, but I don't know how long that's going to be. Mm-hmm. And I don't know if the lady that is lined up is like 8 to 5. How did we get Genesis from Boys and Girls Club? I just don't have much of a plan in front of me that I can rely on, mm-hmm. that these kids will be protected and they won't be with somebody else that we're not sure of. We can do that. What do you think, Ms. Wright?
Judge, I would like to know about the backup, not the backup, but the wait list. I think if we have dad take a month or whatever it is, couple weeks off work, is it even going to be worth it if he applies and CPS gets approved? Then there's nowhere, because there's only like 2 daycares in Kingsland. I think I was wondering about the Bee Cave area. I don't know where in Austin he works or which way, but I know I am passing through Bee Cave. There's lots of little daycares on the way there. Just another option to expand our search. But then even if we get daycare in Kingsland, is he going to be able to get home by 5 or 5:30? And so what's our backup option? What if the school's canceled, ice days, things like that? We need a backup option. I feel like after we're all out of this case, dad's going to use his sister. So I think it makes sense to get her some tools to, correct whatever we think the problem is, because I think that's who he's going to use when we're all out of the case. That's why he moved from Austin, was so his sister could help. Maybe he plans to move back if mom gets out of jail. I don't know, but I think I think the sister, I feel like we need to find a way to incorporate her because I think that's who he's going to use ultimately.
And what could we do to incorporate her?
I mean, I don't know. She denies that she did anything, right? So, I mean, maybe like a protective parenting or nurturing parenting. And I don't even know if she's willing to do any of these things. I haven't talked to her. She's a Spanish speaker only as well.
And I would also include her boyfriend in that mix too, if we're going to ask them to do services. Cause I mean, it's,
yeah. And they may tell us to take a hike. I don't know. I just think we need to give Dad some way to have a backup option. Like I said, even if he gets Munchkin or whatever that daycare is over there that we don't really like, even if he has them, what do we do on those after hours? You know, maybe one of Nina's people would work out for that backup care. But I do think we need to have a better plan.
And right now they're in 3 different foster homes.
Well, and that's the other thing, Judge. The kids aren't doing well with the separation. I actually talked to one of the placements that said, look, can we even get them, if they're not going to go home to Dad quickly, can we get them all placed together because they're not doing well with the separation?
I mean, that would involve them moving into another whole new environment.
I know. But I just don't know how long this is going to go on. That's why I had sent out an email asking everybody, like, look, if we think they're going to go home quickly, let's get them home. But if not, I mean, maybe we could try to get them all together.
Can we just recess this hearing today and come back next month? And
no, I
have an idea, Judge.
Okay.
Why don't we, at least for now, have the sister just watch the kids in his home instead of before they were going to her home?
That's not really doing any good.
Yeah, I think that'd be premature from our perspective.
I mean, maybe use cameras. Yeah, I mean, I feel like this is an out of the box kind of case. Maybe we set up cameras in every room. I mean, I don't know. I think we need to give Dad some more support. I don't know, other than finding childcare for him. I mean, that's tough for any family.
And he's only dad of one child. He's really sticking his neck out and trying to be dad to all of them.
Okay, here's what we're going to do. We're going to have a special hearing at 4 o'clock on 3/27. We already have a case that's set for all day that day, but I'm not going to listen to that till past 4 o'clock. Mr. Rogers, you know what case I'm talking about.
Yes, ma'am.
And I'm going to order CPS to find out about waiting lists for childcare, hours for Dad's work, and Boys and Girls Club and backup support for childcare. And Miss Willis's potential caregiver. I mean, I need the department to talk to her to see if she would be accommodating hours wise. What about Genesis at Boys and Girls Club? Is Boys and Girls Club in Kingsland?
There's one in Kingsland and one in Lano, so the Kingsland one, if they've got space, would be the best one.
So she goes to Pack Saddle. Well, she would go to Pack Saddle. I mean, I just need a plan. I don't have a plan.
Mm-hmm.
And I got to have a plan. So I need a plan. And I don't want Mr. Rahimi, I want him to work and get his house set up and all that. You know, like Miss Willis said, he's only the dad of the baby. He's not the dad of the other ones. He could just say, peace out, I'm done. But I don't want that to happen. So, I mean, we're putting a lot of burden on him when the department's the one that took the kids and, you know, anyway, I need the department to find all this out and report back to us. Ms. Wright, what do you think?
Judge, I think that makes sense if at least know our options and then make a better plan. I mean, we don't want to set him up for failure. You know, he ends up having to use the sister and then the department comes in, does it, you know, takes kids away and we're back to square one. I don't want to do that. Right. So I think just giving a little more time, resetting, getting some more information and making a plan from there.
And it's not long of a reset for the kids to be separated. It's not months, you know, till our next hearing.
Right.
Your Honor, since his home has been fixed up to the department's satisfaction, can he maybe be spending some time with them on the weekends so that the kids can at least be together?
It's a great idea.
Yeah, I would be okay with that as long as I don't know if his work schedule, Nina, does he work weekends or?
I don't believe so. I think he can arrange it so he can be available on the weekend.
Ms. Cole, can you ask Mr. Rahino his work days and his work hours, please?
Of course I can give you that. I work Monday through Friday from 8 a.m. to 6 p.m.
And is he working in Austin or is he working locally?
I do work in Austin, and sometimes I do extra work in the weekends, but I've been telling my contractors my situation, that I'm trying to get my kids back, and I would be willing to watch them, the other two children, Monday through Friday from 9 to 5, because I need a set time so that I can have for myself.
Could he keep the kids on, like, pick them up on a Saturday and bring them home on a Sunday afternoon? Maybe every other weekend?
Or every weekend. Why not every weekend, Judge?
Because that poor man is driving all over the world.
Yeah, well, I don't think he would mind, though.
That is important to the department, Your Honor. We're waiting for the answer, though, because otherwise the Mr. Rahino would pick up the children and return them to the fosters.
Right.
And also, while we're waiting, this is a status hearing, so I would formally request we make the service plan an order of the court. Thank you.
Did the kids live close to each other?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
They're all in the Waco area-ish.
Ish.
But we don't have one in Houston and one in Waco and one in Abilene.
I could do all weekends from Saturday. Your Honor, you said Saturday morning, and to retrieve the kids, to pick up the kids Saturday morning and bring them back Sunday afternoon, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, he says he'd be really happy. He'd gladly do it. And I asked him, as you requested, either all weekends or every other weekend, and he said either way.
Okay.
Can he pick them up?
No, he can't pick them up. I mean, he gets off work at 6. I mean, he gets off work at 6. He's got to drive up I-35 to get to Waco and then bring those kiddos back. And that's just, I mean, we got 2 babies.
It'll be like 9 p.m.
At least.
I just thought it'd be closer than going from Llano County, but that's okay.
It might be closer, but traffic-wise, I bet you can get there quicker.
Llano, you can go up 281 and then cross over.
Yeah.
A whole lot quicker than you could 183.
Right. What do y'all think, CASA department and Ms. Wright, think about starting some of those visits? And let's see how that goes.
I love that idea, Your Honor. I just want to make it perfectly clear that only if he has an emergency or needs to run to the grocery store or something like that, that the kids are in his care and that he is not leaving them with anybody that we have not yet approved, including his sister. The only purpose, I mean, we can entertain Miss Willis's individual and get her information and run her and approve her really quick. That would take us 5 minutes, but we want that perfectly clear.
Ms. Wright, what do you think before we get to CASA?
Sorry, couldn't unmute. I would like to go ahead and start them and see how they go. It's a lot of little kids to take with you if you got to run to the store or whatever. So it'd be awesome if we could approve someone, that he could call and say, hey, I got to run up here or there. But I mean, maybe he just does that on Friday or during the week, and just spends all his time with them. But I do think we need to go ahead and get those started.
So what do y'all think?
I don't know if Terry can get unmuted. I agree. It's okay to start them. I also agree with the idea of, I think it might be best to do it every other weekend for a couple of those, just to kind of see how that works for him. And then maybe move to every weekend.
Well, one thing I'm thinking though, let me find my calendar. We have foster parents on here. I don't know if y'all talk to them via text or if they could say, we could start this weekend, skip the 17th weekend and do the 24th. Then that gives us 2 weekends before our hearing on the 27th.
Right.
But I want to make sure that they don't have other plans because spring break's coming up.
Hi, Judge. This is the Mullins. We have Genesis.
Okay. Do y'all have plans the weekend, this coming weekend or the weekend of the 24th?
No, ma'am.
No, ma'am.
Okay. Thank you.
Yes,
Genesis.
Welcome.
Genesis folks.
Yes.
What about Aaron's fosters?
We have plans the weekend of the 25th, but we're free this coming weekend.
Are y'all out of town that weekend?
Yes.
Okay. Were y'all planning on taking Aaron? Do y'all have respite he could go to so the dad could pick him up or anything like that?
Our plan was that he would be with us.
Okay. Okay. Elion's fosters?
We're driving, Judge. I'm not 100% sure, but even if we did have plans, we do have respite and approved caretakers that could get him to dad or from dad.
Okay. Okay. Okay, let me throw this one out, y'all. What if we did all 3 kids this weekend? Saturday. I'm talking Saturday. Like, dad could get up there. Y'all can arrange this. I'm not going to micromanage, supposed to have more cases in a minute. We could arrange a place centrally located for the fosters to meet the dads on Saturday at noon or some convenient time. And he brings them back at like 5 on Sunday. And then what about if he had Aaron only, since that's his child, the weekend of the 17th, on the 18th, y'all know what I mean, on that Saturday. And then he had the other 2 the next weekend. 3, 1, 2. Did y'all get that? And then we can try, then that's pretty good. It's kind of weird because you get all 3 and then you get 1, then you get 2. It seems like it should be the other way around, but it's not going to work that way with their plans. Y'all okay with that? Okay, Miss Cole, I'm going to say some things to Dad and you be sure and tell him this, okay? I'm going to let the kids come home for weekend visits. 3 this weekend, Aaron the next weekend, and then the older 2 the next weekend. You do not leave those kids with anybody that Miss Inman has not approved. That means, they're to stay with you. If you need to run the grocery store, you got an emergency, anything, your sister cannot take care of those kids. Nobody can take care of the kiddos that hasn't been approved. Miss Willis's person, we're going to try to get that person approved like today and make some plans for you to be able to pay that person if you needed a sitter for an hour or whatever. But you have to do the transportation of the kids. You got to have car seats, which is another thing. I don't know how we're going to work that out. A lot of details that y'all can figure out. Mr. Rahino, do you understand about your sister, nobody non-approved can take care of the kids?
I don't see him on the screen anymore.
Great.
She's talking.
Yeah, he's still on. He's still online.
He's talking
He
to
said
her.
yes. He understands. Yes, yes, yes.
Okay. Yes, yes, yes. Okay, good. I don't see him on the screen, but I guess they're talking, so that's okay. Okay.
Your Honor,
So we will be starting this
Hold on.
weekend then?
Yes, ma'am. This Saturday. Will that work for him, ma'am?
This morning, I had a meeting with my bosses, and on Saturday, I have to be here in Austin because I'm delivering. We're doing a walkthrough on one of the projects, and I need to walk it through with the owners and deliver the project.
What time will he be done?
¿Y a qué hora terminaría usted? The walkthrough is at 10, and we would finish around noon. And then on the 18th, and from the 18th, from the 18th on, I can do Saturdays and Sundays dedicated to the kids completely.
What if he, y'all? What if he just went up to Waco and had a day visit on unsupervised day visit on Sunday, this Sunday, with all 3 kids, from like noon to 5.
Well, he wouldn't get there until 2.
Sunday.
Oh,
I don't know
Sunday.
what I meant Sunday.
I mean, I'm fine with it.
Yeah.
I'm okay with that too.
It's going to be hard for him to do.
Yes, I would be able to.
Okay.
So Sunday from noon to 5, all 3 of them, unsupervised visit. Was that correct?
Unsupervised visit. Yes, ma'am.
Unsupervised, yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
Entonces sería
It's going to be.
Yes.
Okay. It's going to be difficult for him because he's going to have, the kids for a couple of hours, but there's a zoo. There's a nice zoo in Waco. There's things, they can find things to do. And, I guess if he's going to be able to keep all 3 kids, he's got to be able to keep all kids at home or here, there, and yon. So I guess he can figure it out. Miss Willis, explain all this, protectiveness, et cetera, to your client. If you need Miss Cole, if Miss Harris, if you ever need Miss Cole, Miss Willis, if you ever need Miss Cole, just reach out to her, and of course I'll pay her for extra services, whatever y'all need.
Okay. I've ever met her before. Does she have her own office, or is she with Vicky or Sophia?
I got her through Mr. Lee, through Sophia.
Okay.
Yes. I do this all the time.
Okay.
I do this every day.
Okay. Okay. I'm going to approve the service plan for the parents. Our first permanency hearing is June 14th. We're going to have a special hearing on 3/27 at 4:00 p.m. via Zoom, y'all. And at that time, CPS is to find out about waiting lists for childcare, the hours for father's work, boys and girls club hours, and backup support for childcare. And that is also include information and approval of Miss Willis's potential caregiver. Regino is to visit this Sunday in Waco as y'all work out with the fosters from unsupervised from noon till 5 p.m. He's to pick up the kids, pick up and deliver the kids at a certain place on the 18th through the night at noon to the 19th at 5 p.m. He is to get Aaron as y'all arranged. And then on the 25th at noon till 5 on the 26th is to get Ilion and Genesis. Then we'll come to court the next day and kind of see where we're at. It sounds like we're really working pretty quick, trying to get the kiddos home with dad so we can do some, but we got to have the child care stuff first. Ms. Greenberg, what do you need?
If the judge, if the court can order or make some kind of notation, or it be in the order that we can offer services to that aunt and that boyfriend, if they choose to, I think Miss Wright is right. The family is going to utilize this aunt eventually. So something's better than nothing once we're out of this case in terms of helping to correct the issues that got us involved. I know it's not determined who was the actual perpetrator of the injury to the child, but like I said, I think we'd have to have some kind of notation in the order for us to be able to provide a service.
Okay. CPS is to offer services for paternal aunt and her boyfriend.
Okay. Thank you, Your Honor.
Okay. Ms. Cole, can you interpret for us at 4 o'clock on 3/27? Yes?
Yes, I can.
Okay. Thank you. Can you put that on? Can you put me on your calendar, please, ma'am?
I sure will.
The pen, because here's our court dates. 3/27 is a special hearing. 6/14 is first permanency. 9/13 is second permanency. 12/13 is final trial if we get that far. Okay. Parents, y'all have service plans. You have to comply. Your parental rights could be subject to termination. Anything else?
No, Your Honor, but if you could move us over to a breakout room with my client and the translator, I can kind of go over this a little bit with her.
Okay. Okay. Ms. Cole, we'll move y'all to a breakout room in just a second. Thank you. Ms. Willis, you need anything else?
Actually, can you hear me? Yeah. I'm here texting this person. How do I say backup or something that means backup in Spanish?
Alternate.
Alterno.
Okay.
Alterno.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, y'all go to breakout room. Thank you. Nothing but the truth, so help you God.
Yes.
Okay. From reading the reports, I see little Harley is with Miss Vivian still. Looks like y'all got DNA back. So that Mr. Chirac is Harley's dad. So I'm going to go on and adjudicate. He's acknowledged, but I'm just going to go on and adjudicate him too. Is that okay, Mr. Baker?
It is, Your Honor.
Okay, good. Looks like it sounds just, I mean, there's a bunch of stuff I could talk about from the reports, but it sounds like we really just need to go to mediation and talk about this case.
I think so, Judge.
And what else did everybody, let's just go to the department. What do y'all need?
Just mediation to really discuss. We don't have anything else right now.
Okay. Ms. Wright?
Judge, we would like increased visitation, and of course, I always think mediation is an option.
What are the visits now, Ms. Wright?
I know they just increased. Jordan, can you unmute and tell us what exactly you're doing at this time for visits?
I'm doing 2-hour visits at my aunt's house, and she supervises it.
So 2 hours supervised per week at the aunt's house.
Where does Miss Vivian live?
In Granite Shoals.
Oh, so she's local.
Yeah, she's about 15 minutes from me.
Are y'all getting along?
Yes, ma'am. We get along great.
Miss Vivian, true and correct?
Yes, ma'am. We're getting along great.
Let me ask this, Miss Vivian, and I don't mean to throw a firecracker into a fire, but I know you've been here all the time, and I expect you to tell me the truth. If we left visitation for you and Miss Jordan to figure out when it's convenient with you, could y'all do that?
Yes, ma'am. We have been doing that because she's had doctor's appointments for Jerry Chirac. And so we made it at a later time. One Wednesday when it was real icy, we didn't do visitation. So we made it up on Sunday. And he got to meet Daddy's baby Harley got to meet his Aunt Chelsea because they were in from Abilene for about 15 or 20 minutes before they left. And then Mom stayed for the rest of the visit.
Okay. Mr. Wood, Casa, what do y'all think about maybe doing a sandwich visit? I don't know. I'm just throwing stuff out there.
That was the next thing I was going to ask for. So
I'm not opposed, Judge. I would like to revisit support. I mean, I think it's at $50 a month right now. Mom seems to be on her feet, and I think more help would be better if we could get it.
Is it getting paid?
I think there's $50 paid in February.
Okay, Miss Perry, what do you think about visitation?
My apologies, Judge. I think increased visitation would be great, and I do think that Vivian and the Jordan would be able to coordinate that well. I think it's going really well.
I know it's not my turn, Your Honor. I have no problems with increasing supervised, but the sandwich, there's a concern that the department has regarding the house that she is living in, that she intends on if reunification were to occur, on bringing that child back to. And there's also rumors at one point recently that she was kind of hanging around someone that may have gotten her, or bad influence, I'll say that. So that's only our concern regarding possible sandwich visits if you're including a unsupervised time during that.
I got it taken care
of. Okay, thank you.
Okay, so here's what I'm going to increase mom's child support to $125 per month, payable to Mr. Wood, but bill forward it to Miss Vivian. That begins on 3/20/23. Miss Reed is going to get a sandwich visit. And for those of y'all that don't know what a sandwich visit, what that means is she'll go to Miss Vivian's, hang out with Harley for 2 hours. Then she can take Harley away unsupervised for 2 hours. And then she can bring Harley back for 2 hours. So it's probably better to do those on a Saturday or a Sunday. But during the 2 hours, and Miss Vivian, y'all can go to the store, y'all can go wherever. I think we talked about that last time. Y'all don't have to just hang out at the house. Y'all can go
Jordan can't drive the baby anywhere. She doesn't have a license yet. That's why we're doing them at my house. And she drives to my house. I want to protect Harley. I'm sorry. Yeah. I don't want to,
No, because here's what I was going to say. The child can't go to mom's home, and only mom's the only one that can be around the child. So that kind of poo-poos that idea,
I mean, we can go to a park and meet at a park, and I can leave. Like, I go outside. My bad habit is I smoke cigarettes. I smoke outside. So I leave them alone. They visit. They make a phone call to Dad. They video chat with Dad, have their family time in my house. I'm outside. I'll go to my room, whatever. I just want to be around, so in case something happens to the baby, I'm close by. See what I'm saying? Because she can't drive him nowhere.
Yeah, well, that driving's big. Miss Wright, how are you going to handle that?
I'm going to tell her to go get a driver's license, of course, ASAP. I didn't know that, Judge, but I will talk to her about that.
Well, and we all know it's not so easy just to get a driver's license these days.
Sure. I think it takes a long time just to get an appointment.
Absolutely. One of our lawyer cohorts took her kids to Brady, and that because they could get there quick. So just FYI, they're going to pay, Okay, well, let's do this. Let's do this meat of the sandwich. Let's change that to 1 hour. And the child can't go to mom's house. Only mom is with the child. So if Miss Vivian wants to drop him off at a park, she lives the parks around. Miss Vivian, I would kind of think, if y'all want to, I would leave her by herself for an hour and just see how things work, because there's nobody else that's allowed around, no boyfriends, no girlfriends, no nada, no other families, just mom to see how she takes care of Harley.
I mean, we could do that here at my house. That's fine, because everything's done here at my house. My house has been approved.
That's fine. You can go take a nap. Or go smoke a lot of cigarettes outside. I don't know. Or what?
I think, Judge, probably Vivian and mom can work it out. If mom wants to do like the park or McDonald's or whatever is out there, then I think that Vivian can drop baby off for a little bit and just be available. I hate for her to just have to drive them everywhere, but I mean, it seems like that's the only option we have at this moment. But it sounds like they're real workable.
Yeah, let's just say 1 to 2 hours for the middle of the sandwich. And then because if Miss Vivian just wants to go to the store for a little while or just have some quiet time, 1 hour isn't always enough. 2 hours will be fine. They can work it out. Okay. Let's see. Sandwich visits, 2 hours, 1 to 2 hours, and 2 more hours with Miss Vivian. 1 day per week. 1 day per week as arranged with placement, and CPS and middle items are informed. Okay, Ms. Wright, what else do you need?
That's all, Judge.
Mr. Baker?
I just need probably mediation sooner rather than later if we're going to do it, just because Mr. Chirac is in the Burnett County Jail. And while he's not here today, I swear they're usually pretty good about getting him on and ready to go.
Yeah. Well, like I said, we were way over because of that prior hearing. Well, I'm going to say I want y'all to do mediation by 5:10, which is all day, but I agree with you, I'd prefer earlier, except we also need Mom to have some of these visits so we see how those go also.
Can y'all hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, okay. I was going to say, so what exactly is mediation again?
Your lawyer will tell you.
I'll call you after this and we can talk.
Okay, and I wanted to say something else. All right, well, then I'll just talk to you about it later on. I wanted to mention something, but I'll just wait until I talk to you and you're going to go inside, I guess.
And Judge, the only reason I was pushing for a quicker mediation, it's just selfish on my part, really, because if he's going to leave the Burnett County Jail at some point and get transferred back to TDC, and then I'm going to have to chase him. So I'm just trying to avoid that.
Well, another thing I could do, I could up the trial till April, and y'all do it by then. But we got spring break coming up. I mean, are y'all going to be able to get mediation done by the April date?
I don't know. It's okay. I mean, if I have to chase him, I have to chase him. We can find him, and it's not that big a deal.
I think we need as much time as we can.
Okay. That's what you have Lisa for.
Right.
She's the best.
I think he told us that yesterday, didn't he?
He did.
Yes. I think we can quote you on that. Yes.
Yeah.
He might eat his words, but we did hear that yesterday, I believe.
She is an expert when it comes to dealing with TDC and Zoom.
That's right. Well, no, I mean, but it's kind of darn if you do, if you darn if you don't. So, yeah. Okay, we got mediation. We got a trial day. Ms. Reed, you know you have a service plan. You got to comply. Your parental rights could be subject to termination. I'm going to adjudicate Mr. Harley Brooks Chirac as Harley Chirac's dad, which we already knew anyway. He sure is a cute little guy. Miss Perry, what do you need?
I'm good, Judge. Thank you.
Okay. Mr. Wood, got your child support. It got increased. What else do you need, sir?
Judge, I mean, there are some legitimate concerns about the house where Mom is. And I mean, I think there was talk about Mom possibly getting married to Dad. You know, I mean, if that happens, that changes things. You know, I mean, Dad isn't working services, but there were a lot of people. I visited the house. There were a lot of people there that I don't know the department knows about. So, I mean, if we're going to be looking at a mediation, we need to make sure that she's got a good house that's appropriate without any issues. So,
and Judge, part of the last MSA was that the department was supposed to let me know what issues and so that we could get them addressed. And I haven't received anything saying, here are the issues, here's what she needs to do or move out or whatever.
Y'all might want to do that before mediation department.
So it's been addressed in the court reports, and okay, we'll do it again.
Just write a letter and CC everybody else, and so everybody else can know what's going on. I mean, court reports are just every couple of months, you know. I mean, a letter saying bam, 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 bam would be the best thing.
Okay.
Okay. Anybody need anything else? Okay, well, sounds like we have a good plan. Miss Vivian, you good?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you. Okay, well, I'll see y'all on 5/10, and good luck to everybody. And we'll be in recess till 1 o'clock with a court reporter.